Welcome to YellBro. I am Jordan, and today, more from Candace and the whole turning point thing. As you can see on screen, they they admit that the texts that Candace was showing yesterday are indeed real, and we're gonna watch the whole. Well, maybe not the whole thing, but a decent portion of the Candace video, which she'll go over this. So I don't need to play this right now, but she'll go over it. Before I get started, obviously, don't forget to share support. Hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that Discord. I am in that Discord right now, about to do this video. And also, the sources and links for everything I show you today will be in the description box. So please, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Should be my new catchphrase. Enjoy it. The corniest thing I could never do. Anyways, also, before I start talking about Charlie Kirk and some of these theories that are out there, I just want to show this in case people forgot the whole Gaza deal thing that's supposed to be happening. As you can see here, according to informed sources, during talks in Cairo, Hamas insisted on a full IDF withdrawal from Gaza, coinciding with the last hostage exchange, as well as guarantees for a permanent ceasefire. So, once again, in negotiations, these guys are going back and forth, with their proposals and, kind of, edits of the original deal. And this would be like a sign of bad news, not because of Hamas saying this, but it's more so of Israel's kind of hard forcing. They want to be able to stay and continue occupying Gaza, or at least like decent portions of it. And when Hamas says we want full withdrawal, yeah, that's not good. And also, you can see this: Hamas will not agree to disarm. Has been concluded from the negotiations in Cairo so far, so they won't put down their arms either. And I can't say I know exactly what the red lines are, but those sound like red line things, as in neither side's going to agree to. Sorry, Israel and the U.S. will not agree to letting these guys just maintain their military presence. And Hamas is like, yeah, if we give that up, we're probably gonna get killed for it. So we're not doing that unless there's a Palestinian state officially given. So yeah, and also the withdrawal versus full withdrawal, we'll have to see. Trump can say things all he wants, but at the end of the day, it's like, what deal do they agree to? Because Trump can say, I want Israel out of Gaza, but that seems like that fool's mind can change based on how corrupt he is. Like, he might be just easily corruptible to, say, all right, fuck it. All right, listen, Hamas, they're going to maintain occupation for half of Gaza. Sorry. Like, they could even do that after the deal gets signed. All right, BB, go back into Gaza. Go ahead. Take it over. So, we should definitely keep our eyes on this. Also, I do want to show this clip here. I think it's interesting. It's with Brianna Joy Gray and Max Blumenthal, and they kind of talk about some of the money aspects in regards to Charlie Kirk, because I think that is, and people saying like, oh, it's kind of ideological. It's based on the Israel stuff, and Mossad had him killed. But to me, it makes more sense, or it would make more sense to me at least, that it'd be about money. It could be about money. It could be Charlie's losing money. He's complaining about it. All right, bye, Charlie. Like some mafia gangster shit, bro. Straight up. So let's play this clip that kind of gives some leeway for the idea I'm saying right there. Here we go.
This interview between Ta-Nehisi Coates and Ezra Klein, where they speak at length, each of them sort of defining what they think, what their role is as journalists, and also what they think the line is. Another way to say that is litmus tests in terms of, what do you have a personal red line? Do you have a personal red line with respect to who you choose to sort of engage with politically and take seriously and platform? Do you have a red line in terms of what you're willing to sacrifice for political expediency in terms of your own views? Are there populations that you're willing to sacrifice in order to win. Ezra Klein makes the case that, various communities are worse off under Trump. And so if the Democratic Party were to distance themselves from various interests, let's say being pro-choice, that would ultimately be better for women down the line.
Yeah, I mean, this is the moral dimension of the Charlie Kirk debate, but it's also it became a larger debate about where the Democratic Party should go, which in itself is revealing, along with the host of the debate, the New York Times, which is like the Democrat Times. And Ezra Klein he says at one point in this debate, Charlie Kirk was just basically starting out with this lemonade stand. He just had this little table
Bullshit.
at college campuses, and he pulled himself up from his bootstraps like Horatio Algiers and just lived the American dream with this big empire. Like, no, it wasn't Horatio Algiers. It was Elmer Gantry. And he was backed by industry. He was backed by the billionaire donor class, something that actually never comes up in this conversation or debate. A debate that I see two sides of the same neoliberal coin in this debate, with Ezra Klein offering a more like Clintonite, let's sister soldier the left vision, and Ta-Nehisi Coates not pushing a class-based vision or an anti-war vision, but pushing what he always has, which is a warmed-over Afro-pessimist vision, which is that this country cannot fundamentally change because it's rooted in racism and settler colonialism. Therefore, we shouldn't even try, and all we should do is push a kind of racial politics. I mean, the fact that the left is debating who's right here, Ta-Nehisi or Ezra Klein, means they're just debating which cultural vision will come out of a neoliberal party.
Agree with the outro. Okay. So I just let the whole thing play. I know only like that portion was about Charlie, but it's kind of like there is that image out there. So if you turn it into something like when you actually, in my opinion, like really look at it, especially with the text messages we saw, right? I would think he's more like he's about the money. Seemingly, it seems like he's more about the money, and he wasn't some organic created thing. There's many hands involved in the whole Charlie Kirk image, tpusa project, all of it. There's many hands on top of that thing, and from what I understand, just like a mafia. If you screw them over on money or you threaten the money or some shit like that, people get pissed off and things can happen. So, once again, not saying I'm correct about this theory, just saying that it's a theory worth looking at. It might not be as political as people might think it is. It could straight up just be about money. And, which is actually one of the craziest parts about all this is that, I'm going to show you this after. Everyone has like a theory. Everyone has a theory because no one believes the official fucking thing, which is like how. I guess the closest thing to that is like Epstein, right? When he allegedly killed himself, like no one buys that, right? And I mean it's like overwhelming. Like it feels like 95. Like someone said it before, like 95%. I think it was the Valhalla guy. 95% of people are like, yeah, there's no fucking way. 95% of people, which is crazy, right? For something that's happened so recently, less than a month ago, and people are like, nah, it's bullshit. I don't believe what the fucking FBI is telling me. I don't believe what the mainstream news is telling me. And another crazier aspect of this is, like, once again, leading into the conspiratorial side of things, is when you see Democrats and Republicans kind of together about something, usually something bad happened. And when I see these kind of the mainstream Democrats, mainstream Republicans, no one's asking questions about this, except for like maybe like I don't know, maybe Thomas Massey. I haven't seen what he said. Maybe Thomas Massey. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene said something, but yeah, when those guys like kind of work together, something bad happened. It could be Epstein. It could be the Charlie Kirk case. A lot of times it's war. So, but it's just fascinating to me that so many people are like, I don't buy this official story. I don't buy it at all. And then we have the internet where everyone can share these ideas and fucking go over things. Like, yeah, it's very interesting. But let's read this real fast. From Max Blumenthal, an unsettling timeline, especially now that Charlie Kirk's texts have been authenticated. So you can see this from this the crazy village lady. I wonder if Josh Hammer went went and dug up this 12-year-old Trump tweet before or after he and Rabbi Walicki had their last conference call with Charlie the night before he was murdered. And as you can see, he pulled up an old-ass tweet, apparently, according to the screenshot. I have not authenticated this, but according to the screenshot, you see Trump saying, should be public execution for all to see. You will end this bullshit fast. And he put this out the day before Charlie died. But I'm not going to buy too much into this. Like, he could be talking about something else. It could be fucking, I don't know. I don't know. It could be Iran. It could be some foreign policy thing. And he could actually be using this old tweet to talk about the foreign policy of this particular time period, right? 2013. I don't know exactly what the fuck's. I'd have to think. It could be Syria. Who knows? Who knows? So, but I'm just saying that because maybe Josh Hammer is referring to that incident, whatever happened in 2013. It could be Syria. But at the same time, I leave room for the conspiracy theories, man. Like, there's no one knows where to go right now. It's like there's all these ideas out there, and the official guys are giving us bullshit, honestly. So, I have to consider every theory. Maybe Josh Hammer is tweeting us out in reference to Charlie Kirk, knowing he's going to die the next day. Who knows? I can't say I know, but either way, whatever. Either way, I say hopefully I'm at the right spot here. Either way, let's get to the main story here. Candace Owens and the follow-up video after first revealing the text. Then the next day, I think today is when she found out, is when tpusa to Andrew Colvin guy confirmed the texts are real. And now she has her video about all of it. So without further ado, here we go. tpusa responds, yes, the text messages are real, from Candace Owens. Here we go. I'm skipping her fake soulful
All
fucking
right, you guys,
intro.
happy Tuesday. I gotta tell you something. Twitter, or X, it hasn't really been that fun in a really long time. I think Elon Musk clearly gave it away to the military, and we now have to suffer these military bot farms calling for war with Iran. But last night, the platform was exceptional. It was amazing. The tears that were being shed all over the place. I mean, I really picked out the best responses to me dropping the text messages. It was hilarious. Anyway, Turning Point USA has responded to the release of the messages, so we are going to watch that. Spoiler alert, they were real, of course. And on top of that, a Turning Point USA donor has published a public letter regarding me, and I was truly touched by it, and I think you will be too, so I want to share that. Welcome back to Candace.
Pause. Oh, fake soul bullshit.
Candace, your podcast right now is like the show Succession on HBO. You guys know this show, which is
It's Oprah.
about
It's
how
psychopathic
all of the
Oprah.
heirs, and supposed to
That's what
be
you are.
kind of fashioned after Rupert Murdoch's throne. All the siblings are fighting one another to see
Her
who
signature
will
is
it be?
almost
Who will it be
Oprah's.
that gets this empire.
Think about it.
That really made me chuckle. I think that should be our new show intro.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Who will succeed Charlie Kirk? Who shall inherit the Turning Point throne? You know what, you guys? The best part of all of this for me is, unlike those ill-begotten heirs on the show, I have a 0% interest in Charlie's empire. I am not motivated by the idea of carrying on his torch.
I think we know now that
forcing
it
a
wasn't
moment that I
his
think
empire.
Any person could carry on his torch. If you thought you could, you clearly did not know Charlie Kirk. Charlie was, in fact, an anomaly in the system. It happens rarely. And
I don't think so.
yeah, I don't know that I will live to see another person like him.
I get it. The pleasantries, your friend, but come on. We know how he got started and all that shit. But here we go.
I want you guys to know something. I want
We
to
get
share
it.
this with you. You can take it or you can leave it, but Charlie was betrayed. I know this. I've known this really since the first second, but I rarely have vivid dreams. And I did, in fact, have a very vivid one over the weekend. In fact, the last time that I had a super vivid dream, I was pregnant. Tends to happen a lot to women when they're pregnant. But in that dream from 2023,
So not only
my
are
former
you
producer of the show and I were standing in the control room, and she told me that she was 26 weeks pregnant. This is in the dream. And she told me exactly what month the baby was coming. I asked her in the dream, is it a boy? Is it a girl? And she said, it's a boy. I woke up and I immediately texted my producer in real life and I said, hey, you're pregnant, just so you know, it's a boy. And then she found out that she was pregnant 1 week later. She had no idea when I texted her. And it's something that we reflected on a couple of months later because she was just totally shocked looking back on it. And this is our text chain from, you can see, 2023. She said, you texted me June 16th. And I think I got pregnant June 26th. This is crazy. And it's going to be a boy. It's nuts. I said, I'm telling you, your baby visited me. It was an insanely vivid dream. He was on his way. And she said, that is so bizarre. My mom also texted me that week saying that she had a dream I was pregnant. I said, I haven't had a dream that vivid since. It's been my only vivid dream this entire pregnancy. I believe people can communicate in dreams on their way in and on their way out of this world.
Okay. All right, I got nothing. Shout out to Rupert. I almost said Murdoch. Rupert Sheldrake. My bad. Yeah, maybe there is communications in dreams. Why Candace would. It's like she's the best investigative journalist in the world. She's the best fucking commentator in the world. She's also psychic. Like, Jesus Christ. It screams. Like, her personality, it screams. Like, narcissistic psychopathy. Like, it just screams it. This lady. Holy Christ. She's so special, isn't she? All right, here we go.
I similarly,
Fuck,
like
she
I
has
just
godly
said,
powers, too.
had a vivid dream this weekend, and Charlie came to me and he told me that he was betrayed. And so for me,
Bruh.
you don't have to believe that, but I do believe that. And it was the immediate sense I got, actually. And I don't know who exactly it is that betrayed him, but I also felt in the dream that it is soon going to be revealed, that it's actually inevitable that it is going to be revealed, that there is nothing and no one that is going to stop the truth from coming out, and it is going to have international consequences. Take that to the bank. Quote me on that. Women tend to have a stronger intuition about people, I would say. I think
You have
it
to have
was
a
the
soul first,
writer,
Candace.
producer
There must be a
Conrad
soul there
Flynn
first.
that recently went on to Tucker Carlson's show, and he discussed
I'm just trolling,
discussed
guys.
that phenomenon in the context of the persecution of Christ. He's talking about Pontius Pilate's wife warning him.
I wonder if people would tell me to shut
not
up
to
because he's
persecute
talking about her magic
Jesus.
powers she
Take a
has.
listen to that portion of their
Shut up,
conversation.
Candace, talking about her magic.
And if you look at Pontius Pilate, you know, he wants to set
Ghostbusters, dope.
At some point, he flips and he's like, you know, this guy is innocent. My wife is having dreams about this man. That's another thing that's underreported in history. Wife as soothsayer / dreamer.
Yeah.
I mean, your wife is many times.
I'm sorry for pausing this, but is she actually like trying to piece together evidence to showcase that she's also what's the word? Is it omniscient? Might be fucking that up. That she has psychic powers, or that the psychic phenomenon is real, so thus you can trust her about a dream she had about Charlie. It's just, I mean, once again, I can understand, and I'm not so far away from the woo-woo to fucking think that's not possible. It's just bizarre. I don't know. You know what? Okay, I'm rolling with this. Okay with this. Here we go. Magic is real, guys. It is real.
Don't have him on your show.
I don't know if
And
Candace. I
her
don't know if
intuition
Candace
is such that
has it.
even though there's no necessarily hard evidence.
That was the most
you
psycho-looking
know,
thing I've ever seen.
And
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Like, look at this shit. It looks looks crazy. Look what she's.
your wife.
Sorry,
is many
look at
times
her.
Like, I have a bad feeling about this guy, Tucker. Don't have him on your show. And her intuition is such that even though there's no necessarily hard evidence, you know, it's your wife's take on stuff. You don't ignore it. But
I have ignored it.
It is Halloween
Yeah.
season.
You're like, I've actually never listened to that.
Her
Like,
her laugh
I mean,
freaks me out
I've
too.
been married 34 years as of Saturday, and it's like a joke in my house, you know. I told
Shut up,
you
kid.
he was
They're talking
bad.
about psychic
I
powers,
don't
bro.
know. He's hilarious. He seemed like a good guy to me. You know?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So you'd be the
She
podcast
laughs
where
like a
she's
beauty
"Don't-
pageant
don't-
lady. Like,
Don't arrest this man. I
that's
had
to
a
fake
job."
it
100%.
You're like,
for the cameras.
"Whatever, I'm doing my work right
I'm
now."
very shallow, so someone who's amusing or fun to have dinner with, you know, I just get swept away. I like that guy. You know what I mean?
You're like, Barabbas was amazing on that podcast. I gotta have him on. He's fantastic.
It's actually really funny because I'm recapping conversations that I've had with Tucker where I'm like, I don't know why you trust that person at all. He's obviously a bad guy. And he's like, really, I like him. But I had a really nice dinner with him. Anyways, obviously what they're accurately describing, I should say, especially between a husband and a wife, definitely my relationship with my husband, I can say that from almost the very moment that I learned that Charlie was not going to make it, I said to George through tears that he was betrayed. And now we're all just sort of on this journey to find out by who. So I released a text message yesterday, dropped it on the world, and it caused, and this is putting it mildly, a lot of panic. As I said, the chatter on X was top tier. Emphasis on the tier because there were a lot of them being shed by everyone who was discounting me. She's this, she's that, she's lying. Charlie never changed his mind. He was committed to Israel to the day he died. In fact, he almost died for Israel. That was the vibe they were putting down, and I was getting angrier and angrier and angrier. But self-control always pays off. There were moments on X where people were, after this text message was revealed, almost like bargaining. Like, please, this can't be real. Let me show you. They're making fake messages themselves. This is how easy it is to make a fake message. This cannot be real. They were accusing, deluding themselves into believing whatever was necessary for them not to accept the reality that I was telling the truth. Of course, I was telling the truth. Here's just a few of my favorites.
Once again, I definitely considered the idea that it was fake in a way, but at the same time, like, okay, I'll look at it at face value. And honestly, I was like, yeah, this could be about money, straight up. Because I'm telling you, the implied thing that Candace, I think, is leaning at and implying towards, and a lot of people are, I think, is that, like, oh, Israel did it. Right? And I'm like, for what? They're going to kill their own gopher for what reason? Like, I could believe it, but I don't think it's because the idea that I think Candace is leaning towards, or other people are leaning towards, which is he turned his back on Israel, so they took him out. It's like, excuse me? I don't buy that one. It would make more sense to maybe use his image to get things done, whether it's Israel, the U.S. government, any government, or creepy people, or tpusa themselves, and whoever they're attached to. But the way the message read was like, yo, there's some gangster shit about money. Straight up. But all right, let's keep playing here. Let's see Candace's greatest hits of, I guess, tweet reactions. Here we go.
This is Village Crazy Lady, who I love, Mel, who was responding to an absurdity.
Crazy
that was
Village
being
Lady,
presented
okay.
by Ashton Forbes. Mel said, these losers are down so bad right now that they are literally using their own attack
Give some
lines
more
for
volume.
defense. Ashton Forbes wrote, he's been absolutely maniacal. First off, Candace has no credibility. Second, there's a bunch of Telegram group chat scams that claim to be real people. I was briefly in touch with one, Elon Musk. Oh, really? You were in touch with Elon Musk on Telegram? Third, if you discount the text messages between Tyler Robinson and his trans furry lover, you cannot take these at face value. Lastly, even if the text messages were real, they mean literally nothing related to Charlie's death. I find it scary how Candace is building a literal cult.
See how Candace goes out of her way to like stomp on graves.
Kool-Aid in sync with
I win,
I don't even know
you
if that says
lose.
31 Atlas to be sent to heaven. I think that might be a cult.
She is
actually.
Tracy Fleck.
That's how I'm not in a cult at all. So much I don't even recognize.
Okay.
It was probably a very big cult. Telegram.
I'm gonna skip
trolls,
over.
You want to bring that right back up?
I'm gonna skip Candace stomping on graves because she won an argument thing or something. Get past this.
As people got you at because she's a literal. We're chill. We're on the side of truth. We are so chill. Laura Loomer, who is legally just not allowed to own a gun because she's a literal lunatic, had the nerve to post this about me when somebody called her out. Morgan Ariel said, Laura Loomer hasn't made a single post about Candace Owens reporting on Charlie Kirk's group. Really loud. That's because we're
Another person.
Implicatia and Kelly when they get home. I don't know what is happening and why she's being dragged into anything that I say, but it's exceptional that they're
Got it,
now
Candace, but it's
looking.
gossip.
They're so
Get
desperate.
to the
that German words. You can't even say
we're trying to be
blitz
truth tellers.
means lightning. Krieg means war. Last I checked, people are still allowed to speak German. And last I checked,
Is it Blitzkrieg? Or is it Craig? There's plenty of times where I hear Candace say words, and it's like, have you heard of this word before? Even names, like Lee Oswald Harvey. She's done that. I'm like, did you hear this name like yesterday? So thus you're just using it now. Maybe you're a little, what's the word, dyslexic? Maybe that's the reason. She wasn't reading it. Well, maybe she's reading off of a teleprompter. Maybe she's doing that. But wouldn't that be a sense of faking too? I don't know. I think she's trying to present natural and being natural and shit like that. But there's a good chance she just forgot the name or fucked it up. Meanwhile, no one would ever do that. Who would fuck up the name? If you're into JFK conspiracy stuff, or just a historical case itself, how would you fuck up Lee Harvey Oswald? See, I almost said it wrong. Because of Candace. I've been working on saying it Lee Oswald Harvey. I've been working on saying it that way. So that people hear me fuck it up, they'll call me out. I'll be like, no, I got that from Candace. That's the guy's name. Lee Oswald Harvey. Come on. But she just says words or names where it's like, have you read this before or heard of this word before? But you're using it like you're an expert at it or something. It's just weird. Here we go.
everybody uses the terminology blitz, blitzkrieg, Washington Post,
Krieg.
certainly, does, describing things
Is that the French
happening at the White
pronunciation?
House. But now this is how desperate they are for
It's like she's
anything
never heard the
grasping
word
at straws. Nick
blitzkrieg before.
Fuentes,
It's crazy.
our routine federal informant, writes this. Why did she sit on this for 4 weeks and then censor the other names? So just grasping at straws. Just grasping at straws here. And he followed that up by taking a stab at Charlie Kirk, who's dead. Charlie Kirk said he had no choice to lead the pro-Israel cause because a Jewish donor stopped giving him millions of dollars. What a coincidence. Yeah. He had his great epiphany about Israel after they stopped paying him to shill.
That's a good point, Candace. Right? I'm not a Nick Fuentes fan either, but that's a good point. But don't worry, Candace is here to protect some people and shit on others. Here we go. To being honest.
To shill. It's why I didn't.
To being a truth teller, as she says.
One sentence,
right?
rather, of him trying to eulogize Charlie Kirk seriously, because that right there is the real Nick Fuentes. The quartering jumped in. He says, a serious question. Let's assume the texts are real and that Charlie was 100% serious and not just being sarcastic, which is totally possible. What exactly does this prove? Think before you reply. What does it prove other than someone close to him was fine leaking his texts? That's
it's not about proof.
How dare you leak text messages?
Why would he think of something proving? I think the idea is like it's more evidence to add to the whole case overall, right? Because we're in the fucking dark. But whatever. I'm just being honest.
Finally, this is just funny, so we're going to show you this. Community notes for the win. The Misfit Patriot writes, I messages grab. It would have to be the was real. Of course it was real. I mean, I would have to be the dumbest person ever. First off, I'm not even inclined towards tech, but also would have to be an absolute idiot, a moron, to try to figure out how to manufacture text messages for the purpose of releasing them to then probably get sued by every person that was not in the chat. Like, I'm just like, hey, Josh Hammer received this message. That'd be so dumb. But like I said, these people were desperate.
I mean, in your other text messages with Charlie, like, at least the profile picture looked fake as shit. Like, why is that you, like, your friends? You have a picture of them, like, doing, like, a professional pose in front of, like, the American flag? Like, I don't know. Here we go, whatever.
For it not to be real, because they've been lying so hard about everything. They've just been lying.
That's trying a little bit too hard.
They have something on their face now.
Your friends, bro.
And reality hit them pretty quickly this morning when Andrew Colvett, Turning Point's spokesperson, confirmed that the messages were in fact real. He did this on the Charlie Kirk show. And actually, I don't think it's dramatic to state that this may be the first respectable measure taken by Turning Point USA executives since the passing of Charlie Kirk, like the first respectable response. And
Respectable because they
I thought
accepted
that
what you
was,
said.
I will compliment that. Just the action of Andrew
Well, he's on
Colvett
the fucking rail, too.
addressing it head on instantly was good. So let's hear Andrew Colvett in his own words.
But I want to take the start of this show to address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known and released by Candace Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth is out there. I first want to say the reason I didn't share that screen grab publicly is because it was a private exchange, and I felt like it didn't necessarily comport with things that were already public. I wanted to not betray my friends' trust in that way. But I did share it with some people in government because it happened really quick. It was, it took 33 hours for authorities to get their suspect. And in those first moments, we wanted no stone unturned. We wanted to leave nothing unturned. So I shared it with a few people. Don't know where it went from there, apparently. But here we are. So one of the reasons, Blake, that I'm glad to have this now public, it was not mine to share publicly, but one of the criticisms we've received is that we don't care. We're not investigating every lead. We're not looking under every stone. And that somehow we're just like, sweeping things under the rug. And when I say that we want justice for Charlie more than anybody else, I really mean it, and no stone unturned. I mean, I don't know if you want to chime in on that part alone, but I have more to say.
Yeah, so it has been so frustrating to have people blow up about this.
Yeah.
And I've certainly stated publicly, the reason I haven't weighed in on things is I am an eyewitness to events, and they've said, don't comment on things because anything you say can mess that up. I don't want to mess up any trial for the person who did this.
That's 1,000% right. And I will say I wasn't an eyewitness. I was not there. I flew to Utah immediately to be with the family and the team, but I was not an eyewitness. So there's that. But I am aware that in my role as spokesman for Turning Point USA, which is another hat I wear, that things I say, I'm cognizant of the fact that things I say could negatively impact an ongoing investigation. All right. But I will weigh in specifically on this issue of Israel because I know there's a lot of fascination. And I just want to say that, we have to let free speech be our North Star here, okay? Charlie was adamantly free speech, and I am not personally going to impugn anybody's character who is asking questions and looking for answers, all right? And I will say that text chain is consistent with public frustrations that he voiced many times. And I know, Blake, you were in the trenches on a lot of this stuff because we were workshopping how we were going to do the tour and what he's going to get asked about Israel, what was he going to say. And this is consistent with things that he told his friends, people that are, in the wider movement about his wrestle that he was going. And so I just want to say, what is the truth about the way Charlie felt about Israel? Well, it's complicated and it's nuanced, and it was a wrestle that was going on for months. And it's probably somewhere between the BB letter and the text.
So what do we think? Okay, obviously, you can tell he's anxious. You can tell he's nervous speaking about this. I am sure he was positively frantic at Turning Point USA yesterday. I am sure he had very little sleep. And like I say, never the fun thing to be the spokesperson and also to be involved in the story. I can tell you right off the bat, he is telling the truth. He was not the person who shared that message with me. He also should know that he was not the only person who sent that message and sent messages around. So there are a lot circulating, some videos that are circulating. And he's being honest about that portion. I personally, as someone who knows Andrew Colvett, I want to express how I feel. I hold it against him, actually, that he didn't share it with me. He knew. I cried on the phone with Andrew. He knew how I was feeling. And then I went under a very, well, you could say a blitzkrieg, right? A heavy bombardment from people who he knows hated Charlie, who tried to stop Charlie, people who had no issues showing up to his memorial. I mean, really gross stuff, who were attacking me. And he could have at least provided some cover. Now, I'm not saying that I need help, but sometimes it's nice to offer somebody a lifeboat when they're being attacked for telling the truth, right? So I do want to say that. Also, I'm glad that Andrew responded correctly, because I was going to say this when Blake's like, well, the investigation's ongoing. That text message has nothing to do with an investigation whatsoever. It has to do with the broader question of people feeling that Charlie's legacy is intentionally being hijacked by Israel. I never stated that Israel killed Charlie. Anybody that's been watching this investigative series, we've come up, there hasn't even been an Israeli name that's popped up in this investigation. There's only been one Jewish person, I think, that's popped up thus far in this investigation, which is George Zinn, decoy boy. So they're just saying that. I just want.
So Candace, are you fucking telling me? God, I wish more people were here. Like, are you hearing what I'm hearing? Where this lady's saying that there was no implied sense about this. There were, from the Hamptons thing, like right before Charlie died, he had these thoughts about Israel. That he went to the Hamptons and what's his fucking name? The fucking guy, one of the money guys, was yelling at Charlie Kirk about his Israel coverage. The Josh Hammer guy you bring up, like I will show one name, Josh Hammer. You're telling me, Candace, that you're not implying anything about that? In regards to who killed Charlie and for what reason? You've already dismissed the mainstream story, or the FBI story, right? Of Tyler Robinson, climbed to this rooftop and shot and killed Charlie Kirk. You already said like that's not the case, and Tyler Robinson didn't do it. That's what she believes, right? So now the question becomes like, who is doing it, or who did do it? And there's been a lot of Israel stuff in your talk. Now, I don't have a problem with someone having that theory, right? I have no problem with that. But to say that you're not inferring that or looking in that direction at all, Candace, is kind of crazy to me. That's kind of really crazy, actually. I thought it was like implied that this has something to do with his murder. His change, or his change in favoritism or change of thoughts about Israel. That's why most people are actually watching the things you're showcasing, Candace. Are we fucking joking? Once again, I don't have a problem with the theory, or looking at the theory, or looking at the evidence and all that stuff. But for Candace to say I'm not implying that, there's so many other theories and ideas about this topic that you could be covering too. You're telling me your whole goal is to make sure, like, hey, see, look, Israel's trying to abuse his image. Like Israel or everyone? It feels like everyone's doing that. As far as like governmental power, it feels like they're all abusing it. One person's using it to go after Antifa, another person to go after illegal aliens, another person to go after free speech, another person to start wars. They've all been using it for all these different topics. It's just, okay, let's keep playing. But to me, it just sounds weird. I just wish I had other people hearing that. Here we go.
To say that he was
besides
under
you lovely audience
amount of pressure. Now, regarding the other things that are circulating that have not been publicized yet, and people should know that there is an underground movement of truth tellers in this moment. Okay, there's an underground movement of knights all around the world, from mom sleuths to government employees, like he said, to personal assistants, to Turning Point USA donors, who are working together to bring justice to Charlie, because we don't like the way this feels. We just don't like the way it feels. The vibes are off. I will respect, even though obviously that statement was prepared, I will respect the fact that Andrew says what Charlie would have said. And for the first time, I feel that's been expressed, that we have to let free speech be our North Star. And I'm not so sure that some of the people that are donating to Turning Point USA believe that. In fact, I'm certain some of them don't believe that. Obviously, we wouldn't have that text message if they all believed that. And that is what I think has been so frustrating, is that it seems as though the executives would rather, and I'm now referring to Tyler Boyer, impugn the character of the people who are doing exactly what Charlie Kirk would have done. So please, Andrew, make sure that Tyler Boyer and Alex Clark get the internal memo about free speech. I want to say one more thing rather explosively. 3 people told me off record. 2 people who have this in a written communication from Charlie. One who is a Turning Point USA donor, and I would say very much one of the white knights in this. The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me. Okay. He did not express that to me. So I am telling you this based off the testimony of 3 people. And I am saying this because I hope that these people who I think are good will be inspired to come forward with that.
Oh, they are going to. So there's a they there, thus meaning it's someone that, working in groups, I guess, being a part. I mean, you're going to have to show something and prove it to be real, whether it's a written letter or a typed out letter or a text message or email, whatever. That's a big one you're saying right there, Candace. She's saying like a night before. Let's hear where she goes. Here we go.
Again, those conversations I had were off record. I honor that. If I say it's off record, it stays off record. But I'm hoping that watching what I am doing and feeling the energy that is rising across the world for people who want to know what the heck happened on 9/10, that, they will be brave and they will say, yeah, Charlie did the day before he died think that he was going to be killed, and maybe tell us, who is they? Well, for once and for all, who is they? Who is the they that he thought were going to kill him? Now to give the
So he said that, and then he went out to this open, fucking wide open space where you can get fucking killed, shot and killed at. He didn't make sure security was extra tight that day, or was it based on evidence? Was it just intuition? Was it a dream you had? She just added 10 million more questions to this whole thing. Here we go. If she saves it for some other fucking video, I'm gonna freak out. Or the sources maybe. They don't want to say anything. All right, whatever. Here we go.
Who is the they that he thought were going to kill him? Now to give the obvious answer to federal informant Nick Fuentes' question.
Wasn't this off the record?
The reason that I waited to reveal the text messages is because I'm not a child. Okay. Like I said, I have a lot more. I'm not an idiot, and I have self-control, and I understand that time is always going to be on the side of truth. Time is on the side of truth. Liars know that that's the reality. Liars know that they have to speak quickly, that they have to speak repeatedly. And I wanted the world to truly understand
that's not true.
Just exactly what it is that we are up against. Okay. People that I deem to be mentally and spiritually evil. Okay. Evil in the true essence of the word evil. People who knowingly lied, instantly lied, repeatedly lied, and continued to do so without a trace of shame. Okay. Without a trace of shame. I mean that.
Candace,
right?
I've seen you do
really
that.
Do
Just
mean
be
it when
honest.
I say that you have to be someone that is, or maybe rather someone that is possessed by something that is less than human, subhuman, to do that. There's no humanity in you. That is why I named Josh Hammer. I believe he is a deeply disturbed man. Think about that. Now that you have those messages, okay?
Let's
put
trash
this into context.
Just
a few hours before I dropped that text chain, Josh Hammer was concerning himself with what he's been doing since Charlie caught the bullet in his neck. He has been spreading lies, saying that Charlie never flinched on Israel, right? Charlie never flinched. Oh my God, these people like Candace, they're lying. 48 hours before Josh Hammer was on that text thread. And that did not stop him from keeping up the propagandist effort when he went on a show yesterday before I dropped the messages and said this.
Before she hits play, I have to be honest, where it feels as though, because she said a lot there, but just to go on the whole, in my idea, kind of psychological angle of all this, or epistemologically, like what she's actually doing, in my opinion, it's like it feels like you're releasing like a TV show, more so than journalistic integrity. But that's just my opinion of Candace as a person. Yeah, I think she's releasing not based on heavy scrutiny to make sure this thing is legit and real and everything's clean, due diligence. It feels more so like this will be Tuesday's episode, this will be Wednesday's episode, this will be Thursday's episode. Like, it's just like writing a TV script where you can't throw everything into one episode. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. All right, here we go.
Charlie was a close friend of mine, as you know. We actually spoke literally the night before his tragic and untimely death. I was on a small Zoom call with him and a couple others. We were literally talking about this topic. I was giving Charlie advice for how to message on this issue on his forthcoming campus tour. He kind of jokingly mentioned to me, he was like, Josh, I'm going to mention your book, Israel and Civilization, and it's so good. And that was literally our last conversation. It's just so tragic. This letter that
it feels like all these people are lying.
Chris, I read back in June or July or so. And there were so many people in the aftermath of his horrific assassination, Candace Owens, folks like that, who were saying that, Charlie was turning on Israel. He was ready to sell them out and renounce his life's work of sincere and genuine friendship with the Jewish people and the Jewish state. But this letter that he wrote to Bibi Netanyahu, Chris, literally begins. The first sentence of the letter is, I'm paraphrasing here, but it's a close paraphrase. As a Christian, one of my greatest joys in life is making friendships with the Jewish people and defending the state of Israel. That's literally the opening sentence of this letter.
Filth. Okay?
She is fucking crazy, bro. He's crazy too. Josh Hammer's crazy to me as well, but holy fucking Christ. It's like, it's pure evil. And why is it pure evil? It's because you went against Candace. Like, actually, it screams psychopath, like narcissistic psychopathy. It screams it. It screams it. But whatever. In the text exchange, I mean, it didn't sound like an official statement. It sounded like a moment of frustration, kind of. So I don't view that as, like, okay, now he's officially turned his back on Israel. I think it's more so like, these guys are pissing me off. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? Fuck you. I'm going to invite Candace on. You guys don't like her, right? I'll invite her on. Watch this. All right, kind of but he might even take it back a moment later. Who knows? Whatever. Either way, whatever. Let's let Candace, I guess, stomp on Josh Hammer's grave now. Here we go.
Absolute filth. I don't understand it. I can't comprehend it. Whatever that is that lives in
so
him
gossipy.
does not live in me. There's no truth
information.
in him. Obviously, there's no truth in Josh Hammer. He could have said,
I don't even know if this video
Charlie
makes
was
it
going
out,
through 48 hours earlier. Yeah, he didn't. He refused to do that. And in fact, I'm quite alarmed
probably will, 'cause he did the alert
with what I know
stuff,
that there are 3 people who said that Charlie communicated 24 hours before he died that he thought they were going to kill him. Now I find it rather alarming that Josh Hammer is similarly saying, the night before. So you spoke to him the night before. Did he communicate that to you, Josh Hammer? Did he? I'm interested. I know we won't get answers from you, but let me promise you that if I get a text message to the effect that you were somehow involved in him feeling anxiety the day before, if you did something that gave him anxiety in that way, I will release it instantly. There will be no place that you can hide. Anyways, I
happened to due diligence.
Want you guys to know that I was feeling so inspired by Josh Hammer's utter lack of human decency that I went ahead this week and sent around a life insurance policy of sorts, a package rather, to people that I trust, a package filled with text messages, emails, private communications, videos, and private legal documents. So if anything happens to me, you guys will know exactly who it is that has been making my life a living hell over the past couple of years. People that are trying to bankrupt me, trying to bankrupt me and my family, that are threatening us, to sue us. Everything that Kanye said was so real, okay? I'm now at that point where you look back and you go, man, Kanye was right. He was really saying something about what it takes to leave, to fight for custody of your own soul. Just leave me alone. Let me say what I believe and you say what you believe. Fight fair. Why do you always have to make this threat to bankrupt people? And I want you to know that those people, if anything happens to me, they have my explicit permission to release it all, detonate it all, expose all of these people in politics and in the movement who behave like this behind the scenes. It's necessary. And I highly...
That is... Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, that's fucking nuts. And once again, the thing I said she was implying, she's now just saying, right? something to do with Israel or Jewish or something. Right? She's basically going there. Okay. I mean, once again, guys, I understand this is probably like, oh my god, the story's so juicy. I understand, but I want more so the information. Like, what do you have, Candace? Is it substantiated? Is it legit? Does it actually add context or more information, more pieces to the puzzle of what happened to Charlie Kirk? Because we're now in the situation where this is actually kind of an international story. Although, once again, plenty of people die every fucking day. And they get no coverage from Candace, no coverage from Tucker, no coverage from tpusa. If Charlie was alive, he wouldn't cover it either. But let's be honest, these same people are dominating the viewership. They're dominating the attention of people. And I'm sorry to come off as preachy, but it is what it is. There's all this shit that happens in the world. Like, Charlie Kirk wasn't the only dad dying that day. Or husband dying that day. There's plenty of them all over the world. And I know there's people that will... I see it when I see my viewership. There's an uptick when I cover this stuff. There is. And it's fucking, for me, a little bit heartbreaking that there isn't like more care about the other topics. Not my channel, but in general. Because there's like for quote unquote right wingers, you have to realize there's a reason why people are out there cheering that Charlie died. You may not like it. I don't like it either. I've been complaining about that for years now. With people you guys don't even know, like Henry Kissinger dying. You know, people cheering. Yeah, John McCain dying. People out there cheering. I'm like, that's fucking gross to me. And also, it's stupid. But people are going to do that with Charlie. Why? Because they might see other stories that exist in the world. And they're like, yo, how come none of these fucking people care about this stuff? And then Charlie, and even actually a worse case, just like Candace has done and Tucker has done, these other people have done these same things. tpusa, Ben Shapiro, all these guys have done similar things where it's not just not covering certain stories, it's actually arguing on behalf of the thing that's harming people. Like actually engaging with the topic and cheering for the person that drops the fucking bomb somewhere. That's why people are fucking cheering. That's why people don't like that fucking guy. But people don't like Candace. Although she's kind of flipping things around a little bit more. Yeah. I think there's more and more quote unquote on the left that respect Candace Owens, but there's plenty that haven't forgotten her past and things she said and has not apparently apologized for at all. So yeah, there's plenty of people just saying, who gives a fuck about these people dying? That's a real thing. But yeah, I get it. It's soaking wet with drama. Pause. And that's the appeal. I get it. But someone's got to fucking tell you. Someone's got to hit pause in the middle of the video and tell you, like, hey guys, there's other things happening in the world, you know? There's other harms to be dealing with. There's things that you could, where potentially, if a wide enough audience cares about it, could stop potential harm, certain harms from happening. But we don't do enough. But I see this Charlie Kirk thing and the fucking world exploded, apparently. That's not even taken away for, you know, people that care about Charlie. Like, awesome. I care about Charlie, too. We got to care about the fucking random boat getting blown up, too. You have to care about that. The same amount of care. You know, like, fuck. A not on my watch thing. Care in that way. There's so many problems. You can't cover everything, obviously. Whatever. All right, let's keep playing. I hope she brings up information here. I'm guessing she's still going to go on the You Messed with Candace Owens tour. So I'm here to dance on your grave. Which is halting me. It's making me hesitate about, do I even release this fucking video? I said it from the beginning. I'm not here for the gossipy drama shit. I'm here for information about Charlie Kirk, and let's be honest, this lady gets her hands on information that none of us can get to. Let's just be honest about that. But all right, let's just keep going. Here we go. What happened to my volume? The fuck? Kick me? They kicked me.
It was Discord.
As soon as I give that awesome speech, I get fucking kicked. I didn't get kicked. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's
Ended my
gone.
stream. That's
My
weird.
whole Discord flickered. I think Discord server.
Okay, that's just very bizarre.
Discord's fucking.
Last night, that was my
You hear me?
internet when it was cutting out. Yeah, I hear you. But that one just ended the stream, and I think kicked my account for a second, but brought it back. What the? I'm fucking confused. I'm not gonna lie.
Hello?
My whole
internet-
screen flashed. Like it
Really?
wasn't just like your
Hello?
window. It was my whole Discord. Yeah.
All right. Because my internet did not drop at all right there.
Hello?
I hear you, Dubster.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, let
So
me
are
just
you
kind of recap you guys. And
kicked
what you
from the
guys-
video right now?
No, I see the video right now. It's back. So basically, she gets confirmation that she already knew it was for real, I guess, and other people get confirmation that the text messages were real that Charlie was saying. Not that is some sort of like, it could be a piece of evidence, so I'll consider it, and then the confirmation. Okay, fair enough. And now she's talking about, and she just played a clip of Josh Hammer. I guess I guess in her mind, lying about the text messages, and then also saying he talked to Charlie 24 hours before he died, and Charlie loved Israel. He loved the Jewish state, the Jewish people. He loves it. And that's when Candace, at this moment, said, "I have text messages, videotape, evidence out the ass that if something happens to me, it will be released to the world." What's it called? Like a dead man trap or some shit like that, right? I think it's
Yeah.
called that.
Dead man switch of information.
Dead man.
Dead man switch of information.
Dead man
It's a
switch. There. Okay.
specific type of dead man switch.
Okay. So, yeah. But it.
Yeah,
I
I just saw.
don't-
I just saw like the two guys like emitting the messages.
Yeah. The Colvett guy and someone else, Tyler or something, I think.
Yeah, but one of the things that I noticed about that was, you know how everybody has their position of like Charlie speaks exactly what they believe. Like for Candace, Charlie was leaving. You know, he was changing church. He was abandoning Israel. He was completely like he was converting in all kinds of ways
He was
to
turning
basically
into
be
Candace.
Candace.
Exactly. He's turning into.
And those two guys were talking about like the exact opposite. Like they agree with the message, but they're like, yeah, he's very loyal to Israel. Exactly what you were saying about like about he was looking to like do PR for them and how to frame things because of how bad things were with Israel. That like he was trying to help them. It's like do better PR.
Exactly. Like That's what the
Oh.
message actually looks like, right? Like I'm trying to help you, but
Yeah.
all you guys you're taking
Yeah.
money away and all that shit. So I was like, maybe I say fuck you and just go my own way.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's what I saw those two guys saying like in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
It was like a
was
frustration. He used Candace as like a threat almost, right? Like maybe I bring Candace out, huh? As like a kind of like it's like a snooty fuck you, basically, is what he's doing there.
the exact story, like completely
Dead man
different
switch
framing,
isn't going to work for
different
her.
meanings.
What?
A dead man switch isn't going to work for her. Think about
Why
it.
not?
Let's imagine like this is she's pissed off too many people. Like
Yeah.
across the aisles to the point where it'd be like, okay, you mean if you have information on tpusa, when we kill you, that gets released? Okay. What about all the left politicians she's been pissing off and like driving stories against for all the years? Why wouldn't they be like Democrats? So why wouldn't they take that advantage? Like, yeah, if we kill her now, they'll just blame it on tpusa.
Well, okay. I would think that'd be another stupid thing to do.
Well, I mean, they don't like her.
Yeah, but you're just saying like the Democrats, like that. You see why that's stupid? It's the same thing as saying it's Israel.
No, what I'm saying is, you can't have a dead man switch when everybody hates you. Because they're like, okay, so your dead man switch will release information on tpusa. We don't care.
We don't know who it's on.
We don't like you.
You're saying it's an incentive for for opposition. Like,
Yeah.
some people
Like,
want
it wouldn't.
her information released.
Well,
Okay.
the quote unquote the Democrats, she's doing the work. Like she's doing and saying things that they can't say. That's knocking down the Trump administration. So they would actually probably like her to be alive. Actually, right? Like the establishment kind of Democrats. Also, they like Trump himself. They like the policies he's doing. If it's like in reality, if they're once again, if they're the thing you're saying, which is they just hate Candace Owens, or hate Donald Trump because they're the left, they're the Democrats, they'd leave her alive, wouldn't they? She helps them.
I would not provide that out. That is what I'm saying for a dead man switch. You got to cover all your bases. Because if
Fair
you're
enough,
like, this is our opportunity. Remember when she did that blah, blah, blah? Yeah, we're getting her now.
Well,
they'll think it's tpusa that did it.
Actually, I forgot to bring up to you guys. I don't know if you've seen this video or not yet, but she brought up like in the last days, I think within the last day or two of Charlie being alive, he was worried about being killed. And she says she has 3 sources for it, but she can't say who they are. And it was quote unquote off the record, but she did just say that. So I guess that part's on the record, but who did it or who said it to her and all that stuff, and their evidence for that is all off the record apparently. But okay. All right, here, let's just keep going. Here we go. Hopefully she brings up some actual evidence about something. Here we go.
And is going through things and scared. Do the same. Send everything around to about 8 people that you trust. And I mean, I've ranged it. I sent it to journalists, text messages, and screenshots to people ranging from Max Blumenthal to Andrew Tate. They won't know where it's coming from. It will be everywhere.
Well, you just said 2 of them.
I want to remind you guys, in the wake of all of this, that it is so important to keep trusting our guts. We have been proven right so many times in the
she also had a
past,
dream,
right? Whether we're speaking about COVID, people that had to actually take a stance before.
She had a dream that Charlie said they betrayed me. So, and I think she used other evidence to prove that it's possible. So thus, her dream about Charlie is more real.
Evidence she had a dream. Awesome.
That's a part of the story here. All right, here we go.
Wow.
People,
dreams are evidence now.
Government admits, oh yeah, we were lying.
For me, it is
lying
for
about
sure.
This, we're lying about that. We feel it all right
Wanna
now.
hear from Candace,
The feds are
though?
lying.
I don't
That is
fucking know.
beyond obvious, which is why I was very happy to hear former Navy SEAL Rob O'Neill explain this plainly when he went on Piers Morgan's show the other day. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
I've seen this.
Me, I mean, it was off right from the beginning for me. Do we not guard rooftops anymore? There's been assassination attempts all over the world. Right. Why aren't we looking at rooftops? And then when I was sent the video with this at the same message where they said Charlie Kirk was just shot. When I watched that horrific video, he was obviously dead before he hit the ground. But the questions immediately started to come to me. That was not an entry wound that we saw. We saw an exit wound. So where'd that bullet come from? You don't bleed like, and I've shot guys closer than the camera was. And an entry wound doesn't look like that. An exit wound does. Why did his shirt move the way it did? When I've shot people, their shirts didn't move like that. And then the initial reaction was, well, he was obviously wearing body armor and it was deflection. One, no. He wasn't wearing body armor. And two, it doesn't deflect like that off of body armor. Why was his shirt moving from right to left? Why were people being interviewed saying, yeah, they came from my left to right, from his right to left, immediately shut down? And then did they tear the crime scene down immediately? Just right off the bat, from seeing it, knowing he was dead, saying a lot of this is bad. Not even getting into the soliloquy of text messages that 22-year-olds don't send their trans lover. So immediately, it's just the official story sounds like it needs to be investigated. But now, the whole crime scene's gone. They paved over it. Nothing to see here.
You just have to laugh. The soliloquy of the text messages that 22-year-olds.
As soon as he gets shot, he got pushed over out of cameras.
That's kind of the main point, guys. We have been working off a lot of tips, and so much more is going to be exposed, and we're going to get into that more tomorrow. I do want to give you a quick update on Lance Twiggs. And like I said,
finally, some fucking evidence.
Lying to us. The question is, why are the feds lying to us? The answer is always the same. The feds only lie to cover their own tracks. They are protecting themselves and their bosses. Who are their bosses? Who is they? Anyways, take a little bit of a break here.
Who is that? They lie to practice.
First and foremost, Riverbend Ranch.
FBI lies to practice.
I've been talking a lot about them because I love the famous other using from the band for scientific hunt image date kit. Well, you are right in the block and
my God.
And it's you or yourself can Candace. I don't think the majority of people in the world feel that we know what happened. And I want you guys to know that we have not for a single second ceased our investigation, right? What actually happened on 9/10, we don't know. And we are
even
still
brand naming it as
working
9/10.
through a ton of the tips related to what happened. But I want to tell you that I actually believe that this was a military hit that involved foreign actors and also literal
There
actors.
we go.
I believe that day ran something akin to JFK's assassination. I believe that there were therefore multiple decoys on the ground.
Now, hold on a second. Once again, it begs the question, why? Why? Do we have an answer for that? Why? Why would you run a military operation of this scale, or supposedly of this scale, to kill Charlie, like all this to kill Charlie Kirk?
You don't know? Obvious. You can't quit Israel. Israel quits you.
Yeah, they can quit you by just taking the money away. All right, we're done paying you. Broke ass.
That is not quitting. That's
done.
not quitting.
You're done up. They can just do that shit.
They don't. So Israel doesn't want like people to know what's going on. So with this, for this distraction, they literally involved hundreds of people to collaborate with them.
I mean, it has to be a giant operation. It has to be like the feds. The feds in Utah. The governor of Utah. The United States government. The president and the vice president. Right? He flew on J.D. Vance's fucking plane, right? So they shipped his body out of there very quickly. Random guy, George Zinn. The security guards. tpusa. People in the crowd have to be like, right? There's got to be someone in the crowd a part of this.
Wait, were you saying Charlie Kirk's dead body got onto J.D. Vance's plane?
Yeah, he was on J.D. Vance's plane back to Arizona.
That's JFK. That's JFK. They moved the body out of local jurisdiction.
Bro, we saw his wife crying over his hands, like his orange-looking hands, like the next day or some shit, or whatever.
That's in the studio. That because the next day she was talking about. She was in the studio saying, last time I was standing. They did that in the studio.
Oh my god.
like where they do the show.
Oh my god.
That's what she meant by like last time I was here standing. It was in, where they film things.
Bro, you would have to. Wouldn't you have to kill other people too? Like, you're just keep adding to the list to keep it quiet because someone. Listen, if the guy was shooting from a different location, let's say it was in front of Charlie, but on a different rooftop, someone's gonna fucking see something there or catch it on film somehow with their phones, right? That means you got to kill them too and take their phones and shit like that. All that
Yeah.
for what? For Charlie Kirk?
You got to close down Dairy Queens permanently.
You gotta shut down Dairy Queen. You gotta take a
Take
random
over any
patsy.
evidence.
Like, for what
They filled the
reason?
hole. They filled the sewer hole.
Yeah, they fucking they painted over the entire crime scene, bro. Like, for what? Why? What is the value of Charlie Kirk at that level? Like, what's he doing to where it should be a military fucking executed hit job? Pause. Like, what? He's gonna stop liking Israel on camera or something? What the fuck is he gonna do? He's like, man, Trump should really show us the Epstein files. Is he gonna do
I know
that?
what he's gonna do.
Is that the
He's gonna
fucking
show
threat?
us where. He's gonna show us where the secret Israeli nukes are.
I mean, even right before he gets shot, right? He looks like same old Charlie Kirk. I don't see anything crazy going on, nothing special. No, hey guys, I've had these deep thoughts, and I'm changing my ways. Like, no, he's literally debating a Democratic voter, I think, like right before he got shot. He was still doing his job the same way he was always doing it. So I'm like, what is the fucking point? What would be the point? I don't get it. Did Charlie see aliens the night before or something? Like, what? Did he see something he wasn't supposed to see? If he did, why did he show up at this thing and act the same exact way he always acts? If he was threatened, if he was like, yo, I think I'm going to get shot.
Saw Trump sucking Netanyahu's dick.
Bruh. According to Candace, he said that he's like, yeah, I think they're gonna kill me or something. I think they're gonna kill me. Then he goes out in the fucking like a literal, like the architecture of the area he's at is like everything points right at him. You're gonna leave yourself that wide open like that when you think someone's trying to kill you? That's crazy, right?
Yeah, she said that, right? That he thought he was going to get killed the day before, right?
She has 3 sources for it.
Right. So that is interesting. Like, thinking back, I wasn't really paying attention about the security as much. Like, I was figuring, like, who knew? But if he already had those ideas, I would have thought he would kind of bump up security.
Or cancel
Maybe
the
he did,
event.
and they were in on it.
You can just cancel the event.
Maybe the killer provided the security.
Charlie has done enough projects and has made enough money for the gangsters that back him where he could take a day off if he wants to. He can. He has that power at least to be like, all right, you know what? I'm canceling this event. I don't feel safe. I'm canceling it. He could do that. What? Okay. Either way, let's hear Candace's theory about a military operation. Once again, I'm not throwing that in the garbage. I'm just saying, like, what is the motive if it is? It'd have to be something we don't know about, right? And my best guess has been money. He starts seeing money.
Hold off. They waited it.
Right.
They couldn't hold off. They waited an hour and a half into the event.
Well, once again, let me go back to the Nick Fuentes thing in response to the text messages where he's like, so Charlie wasn't actually turning on Israel. He was, they're fucking with my money. So you know what? I'll be done with you guys. All right? Meaning, maybe he's done being a shell or something like that. Like, okay, guys. No, wait, my bad. Not that he was asking them to like, all right, I'm done with you guys. So, I don't need your money. It's more so that people were just taking money from him or his organization. And he's getting pissed off about it. So like, scrambled brain, scrambled eggs brain, bro. Just what the fuck, dude? It's not working for me. It doesn't make sense. Whatever. Let's just keep playing this. I have to think it's more so about money than a narrative change from Charlie Kirk, which I don't think it is even that. It's impactful for a moment, but then it fizzles away. It fizzles. And the fans that love Charlie in one instance would leave him and new fans would join. And that'd be what would happen. Even, I bet tpusa as like a organization, like, listen, Charlie, we can't have you here anymore. Whatever. Either way, you just fire him, essentially. But here we go. Let's see.
I do not believe, just so I'm clear here, that the person who was walking up the stairs killed Charlie. In fact, my suspicion is that that photo was not even shot on the same day. I do not believe that the person who ran across Losey rooftop killed Charlie. I think that was another decoy. I do not believe that shot came from a Losey Center at all. And we all know that decoy George Zinn didn't kill Charlie. And I received an interesting tip about him as well, that he's much more connected than what meets the surface. He potentially has connections to the federal department, familial connections to the federal department, and we are prodding that. It's getting interesting. Anyway, that would suggest that there are thus for a total of 4 decoys, like George Zinn, staircase guy, maroon shirt guy, and Losey Center guy, none of which I believe actually pulled the trigger. Call it a hunch. I think it's much more likely that Lance Twiggs is the one that is walking in that maroon shirt. His build is nothing like Tyler Robinson's build. Lance Twiggs is thinner. And obviously I'm speculating here, but I believe Tyler Robinson was involved and he was in fact driving around campus on that day, therefore assisting in the costume change.
Hold on. We're hearing a whole different theory here. I'm going to back up quite a bit. She's saying the Lance Twiggs, the furry boyfriend, was one of the
scouting.
Was the person at the Dairy Queen in the maroon shirt? Maybe. I think she's saying that.
Met up.
The shooter.
Lance Twiggs is the furry boyfriend of the shooter.
Yeah.
On paper, right?
Right, but she's saying that he's involved.
Yeah.
He's a decoy / scout.
This is so much work for what?
No, but tying him in, people have been trying to tie him in. Now she's gonna make a pretty story.
I thought she said Tyler Robinson was innocent. He never even been to the university before, or she was theorizing that at least, right? Okay.
But the boyfriend is scouting out the college for nobody.
Is the boyfriend the shooter?
Just let her say it, I guess. Here we go.
He potentially has connections to the federal department, familial connections to the federal department.
George Zinn part.
That. It's getting interesting. Anyway, that would suggest that there are thus for a total of 4 decoys, like George Zinn, staircase guy, maroon shirt guy, and Losey Center guy, none of which I believe actually pulled the trigger. Call it a hunch. I think it's much more likely that Lance Twiggs is the one that is walking in that maroon shirt. His build is nothing like Tyler Robinson's build. Lance Twiggs is thinner. And obviously I'm speculating here, but I believe Tyler Robinson was involved and he was in fact driving around campus on that day, therefore assisting in the costume changes, likely picking up clothing. And as we broke the story, Tyler was seen at Dairy Queen. And what was he seen doing, as I told you? Dumping clothing in the cemetery beside that Dairy Queen. So I think that
we
is
saw
what
that.
his
What
involvement is limited to. That was his job.
How did we see that?
Get rid of clothing. It's completely a nonsense to think that a person
I don't know what
never
you're talking
killed
about.
anyone was high on adrenaline after a kill and decided to eat Dairy Queen. That doesn't even make sense biologically speaking. There was going to be an adrenaline measure that kicks in after you kill animal, let alone a person, let alone having it be your first kill. And you're like, he just decided to go to DQ, sit down, write some poetic text messages. It's why they're freaking out about that Dairy Queen leak. because it disrupts their narrative. One of many things that disrupts their narrative. But what about Lance Twiggs, right? This roommate, man, something about him. The roommate of Tyler Robinson is, I think, federally protected. I especially think that because we learned some more interesting facts about him. So I feel confident, or I shouldn't say completely confident, but I feel like it's okay to venture a guess that he is a federal asset of some description. Could be related to his online work on Discord chats. It's the only thing that makes sense to me.
She's
Anyways,
saying,
I can
okay,
tell you
she's
that-
saying she has some shit, isn't she? Am I tripping?
Saying she has some, but she's still using some qualifying words. Like it's the only thing that makes sense to me. So she's still going with hunches. This is different than when she was like
Nah, Jesse.
proving things.
Jesse, I think she has some
It's the
shit that she
Discord.
can't show yet, but she's like building it.
Right.
So there's definitely some like building a narrative out of it for sure. But I think she's got some shit that would allow her to say this right now.
What's his Discord work that implies he's somehow a federal asset?
I don't know. I don't even know if she means working for Discord or things he said on Discord, where it's like, this is some Fed talk. Who fucking knows? I don't know. But, all right. Here we go. Didn't she say she talked to the family? And they're like, this guy's an asshole.
Yep.
They don't like him. His family doesn't like him. Fuck my life. All right. Here we go.
Guys, I can break this for you, that the government, and this would implicate Governor Cox and whoever else was a part of that press conference the morning after, the 33 hours after they apprehended Tyler Robinson, the government lied when they said, Lance, I'm obviously paraphrasing here. He came in peacefully. He handed over everything. I mean, the whole depiction was like he was just so shocked his boyfriend could do something like this. And so he handed over everything. Well, according to his family, that's just not true. According to his family, he was raided and he was angry about that raid. And yet he was instantly released back into their care within 6 hours. Isn't that something? They had no idea what was happening. They were going off of Mike, the mysterious detective, Mike Mitchell's tip. They had no confession. They have Tyler Robinson walking in peacefully because he doesn't want to die. And you're telling me Lance Twiggs, for whatever reason, you released him immediately back into custody? No, they lied. He was not being compliant and walking in and showing them everything. Something else that was interesting, we had told you guys that Tyler's family thought that there could have been something weird going on with that raid, that perhaps the feds could have been staging that apartment to fit into their narrative. Now, the feds are staging this entire operation, so that would follow that if you're trying to get a conviction, you got to be like, and we found this in his house, the note underneath the keyboard. So convenient, but he destroyed it. He took a picture of it, but then he destroyed it. Because everybody knows if you want to destroy something so it never sees the light of day, you take a picture of it so it lives forever in the iCloud. Anyways, we were told by Lance's family who, by the way, own the apartment that the two of them lived in, that Tyler and Lance lived in. We were told that somebody illegally changed their locks on the home following the raid. Obviously illegal. They were not informed that the locks were being changed. So it gives us two options. It was either Lance or it was the feds. I was wondering, if you're Lance and you really got swept up in this and you're so shocked that Tyler Robinson did this, are you speaking to your family about that? My gosh, I imagine you want to speak to your family. No, it seems Lance has similarly been in an unknown location since the raid. I would imagine he was in witness protection for a bit, but he doesn't need family. He feels, I would say, that suggests that he's pretty arrogant right now in this moment. He's not fearful of anything. Like I said, the sense
You might be now.
is we are watching a play. Right? The government has us completely distracted.
Everyone named by
people who are
Candace
not
is
the same
fearful.
person. I never for a second thought the person that was in the maroon shirt was the same as the person that was walking with the limp. It's completely foolish and ridiculous. I can also tell you something else.
It was laying low, and now
that on the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination, immediately George Zinn gets up and says, I did it, and he kind of gets dragged. Well, apparently George Zinn had to receive medical treatment following that little fracas. And he told multiple nurses and doctors that he did it because he was being paid to do it. He said he had not been paid yet, but he was going to receive
Be a
payment.
decoy?
He didn't know from who. That's interesting.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a decoy.
Decoy boy told medical staff, multiple, he apparently
The guy who
just
fell with
singing,
his arms
just,
up.
like just telling everybody who would listen that he
Yeah.
did it because payment was going to be promised to him if he did do it. What does that tell us? We should definitely dig into George Zinn. We should definitely try to confirm this relatively strong tip that he
But we
has
knew
connections to the
he was the
feds.
decoy from day
This
one.
would be very
Oh, yeah. That was like within like minutes of me hearing of the story, I saw videos of that guy. And I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. But now now Candace is making me think of the fucking child porn, I guess, was on his phone or some shit like that, right? Like, think about that. I mean, it's like, I'm using my imagination here and going into conspiracy world, but it's like, if the kid, Jesus Christ, if this guy had fucking kiddie porn on his fucking phone, he goes to jail for that. What happens to those guys in jail? As far as like the legend of it, right? The urban legend of it. These guys get fucked up, right? If they show up because of like some sort of child abuse or some shit like that, right? Thus creating an excuse for him to die in jail. Especially if he's some dupe that's like, yeah, I did it for the money. But why would he yell that out to nurses? Maybe that's his dead man switch, if you will. Maybe that's his. This is. I mean, once again, she did like all this time in the beginning of this video, where I'm like, oh god, where are we at? Gossip land? What's all this stuff? And now she's just going into like, now we're just in new theories here, different and weird and new theories all of a sudden. It's like, holy fuck, what the fuck are you holding on to, Candace? Here we go. It's fascinating, I guess. Here we go.
We should definitely dig into George Zinn. We should definitely try to confirm this relatively strong tip that he has connections to the feds. Because it would be very interesting if the feds were going to pay George Zinn. I'm not saying they are, but yeah, why wouldn't he know? I mean, make that make sense. Why wouldn't George Zinn know?
I don't know why that guy's that guy's face just looks
make that
weird to me. Like, it looks fake to me for some reason. It looks like his chin comes off, his nose comes off. Like, it just looks weird to me. It looks like an outfit. But all right, here we go.
Makes sense.
It's just in this image.
Why
though,
wouldn't George Zinn know
overall.
where the payment was coming from? Yeah. Anyways, you guys, we are on the case. I wanted to share that with you. Some other explosive things that we have found out
We're
that
on the
have
case.
not shared. Other people that they were
I'm so wrecked.
questioning that they did not share. People that similarly have been told to be quiet about everything. And let's be clear, they are not asking everyone to be silent because they are seeking a conviction against Tyler Robinson. They are telling everybody to be silent because they don't want to get caught. The feds are covering their own tracks.
And
All right, guys, I want to pivot here and I want to
someone
read
else,
you
or-
something. Oh, now I want to be.
I went from, well, I'm not releasing this video because it's just gossip shit too. Holy fuck, look at this theory. And it's like, I think that is just, her style is just made for TV or something.
Mm.
My trip, it's like I'm watching a TV show.
Yeah. But like, it's in a way, from a storytelling perspective, better than a TV show, right? Like, because
Well, the element
she's
of
just more
it
skilled.
real. I don't think it's skill. I think it's the element of being real. Like, as of today, like even reality TV shows, they like scream fake, right? But this still has the element of, oh, this is like a real thing. So thus, she is trouncing TV shows. Like, as far as like, I can see why people are like, oh my god, when's Candace's next episode? Let's go watch it, right? I get it.
Well, it's unfolding, right? Because, I mean, I don't take everything she says as like she does make shit up, and then and she does give a lot of new information, like real information. So you she said we are on the case, right? So you're kind of walking through this with her, and you're also sorting through not just the things that she presents, but like as evidence, but like what she's saying, because it's not all there, right? I mean, like I like you see that sometimes she accuses people just so that they let go of information. It's like, so
This lady,
she's done that a few times.
yeah, this lady is. They're gonna make movies about this woman, and I'm freaking out about that, Jesse. I'm freaking out about that idea, but it's probably going to happen. The pace she's on with all these random stories, they're gonna make movies about this lady. I'm freaking out, dude, because this isn't to me some sort of like Joan of Arc, fucking hero saint person. It's just, it's fucking. That was so tactical of spending all that time on like very dramatized, gossipy style stuff, and then also by the way, boom, 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 boom of fucking. Here's some theories that now exist, and you can't deny it or accept it yet. You're stuck. You're stuck with no choice but to watch it, like to watch the next episode, unless you like you see the game. You're like, all right, I'm out of this shit. I feel the need to cover this in the sense of like, what is this like phenomenon I'm watching right now? I feel the need to cover that. Like I said, this video was about to be like, nah, I'm not releasing this because there's no. I know I talked about like the Hamas negotiations, first part of the video. Okay, maybe it's worth it there. Maybe I chop it up and just take that part only. But then she just drops this. But it kept you here the whole time in a way. It kept you here the whole time just to get to this shit. With once again, no evidence backing it. Just saying it. But it's like, okay, well, when's the next Candace episode to find out more? It's so fucking like TV's like plot pointed in a way. And it's like, holy Christ, dude.
She's doing like a Will Graham and like looking at the thing, like reading, like, oh, how would I do it? It's like, nah, that doesn't fit. He's just
Will
reading
Graham
tea
is
leaves with the evidence.
It's like the Hannibal Lecter series and the movie Red Dragon. That's the main detective, Will Graham. Just so people know. But all right, I almost feel like she's gonna stop there. But let's see what else she has. Maybe it's about Macron's penis, alleged penis. I don't want to get sued. All right, here we go.
I want to be perfectly clear that despite all appearances over the last 2 weeks, it has been a very difficult time for me. Obviously, normally when I'm
not
covering a
financially,
story,
you
I'm
are
bombastic and I feel brave and focused.
You are carrying sacks of
I am
cash
speaking
around.
about someone that has nothing to do with me. This has been particularly challenging because I had, and I still am, very much grieving Charlie and waking up to the realization that not everyone is grieving him in the same way, that he may have just been
Oh my
a
God.
political pawn to so many people that he loved deeply. I mean, I'm going to be honest, even Donald Trump's non-reaction, not making any demands.
Let's be honest. He was a political pawn, Candace. No, well, let's be honest. He's a human being. He's a person, right? But even with that, he was being basically used by whoever the fuck, most likely. And he was with it, I think. I think he was with it until all of a sudden the money's dried up. The money's dried up because he made a gamble that didn't pay out, that didn't work out for you as far as the donors are concerned. But you could see the silver, like, oh, the future's here. This is where people are going to move. And the money started drying up, bro. It is what it is. All right, here we go. He was being used, for sure.
For truth regarding this investigation deeply upsets me. It deeply upsets me because I know how much Charlie Kirk loved Donald Trump. So I was just
I'm not even sure that's the case.
happy. It brought literal tears to my eyes when a donor from Turning Point USA, a donor that actually then unlocked a whole another level of donations for Charlie Kirk through introductions that he made for Charlie, and a donor who ironically, this is the very donor that when I said to Charlie, we need to be in the UK, we need to be in the UK. And he was like, well, I know somebody who I could maybe have set up an event. We can start Turning Point UK. And that event was when I first laid eyes on George. Not when I spoke to him, but when I actually first laid eyes on him. That donor issued a public statement. And I think he will be the first of many donors that might make a public statement. And he made this statement in my favor. This was written by him and his wife, two wonderful people, John and Irina Mappin. I'm just going to read it because I think these words don't just eloquently express how I'm feeling, but I think these words eloquently might express how we are all feeling worldwide. Like, I read this and I said to myself, I couldn't have written this better myself with all of the time in the world. John and Irina write, Charlie Kirk built Turning Point USA on transparency, free speech, and a relentless pursuit of truth. We are witness to that. If Candace Owens had been assassinated, Charlie would have torn apart every lie and devoted every working day and night to uncovering the full truth. He would not have trusted the authorities to deliver justice. He would have demanded it from the rooftops. Charlie would not have waited for the funeral or memorial to happen. He would have gotten to work immediately. He would have worked night and day to uncover exactly what had happened to his great friend. Consider this. Charlie did not sleep for several days and several nights just to ensure that J.D. Vance became the vice presidential nominee. And although that job was supremely important for the country and its future, it was still ultimately simply helping to secure a job promotion.
That's worrying. That's very worrying. Here we go.
Candace is working to get to the truth of who killed Charlie Kirk and why they did it. Charlie's execution is an assassination with potentially far-reaching political consequences for America and the world.
That shouldn't be the case. I know it's unfortunate him dying like that, but that shouldn't be the case considering all the crimes. Like, let's be honest. If you're going to give Charlie credit for having, I guess, some sense of political power like that, you have to give him credit for a lot of deaths that have happened around the world, too. If you're going to do that. I think he's kind of like a chump, like a fucking mark, kind of. He's not a shot caller to me at all. But if you're going to give him that credit, you got to give him credit for doing a shit ton of harmful things that actually do have global implications. Although they'll use his name as that, but I don't think, after his death, they'll use his name for these far-reaching political consequences. But probably not really, though. Not really, as far as like him and what they're projecting that he wants. But here we go.
What we have seen so far beggars belief. A crime scene apparently completely destroyed in days, and plenty of evidence that simply does not add up. This investigation and the truthful answer as to who was really responsible for deciding that Charlie would be executed in front of the world will affect America's future, its collective soul and conscience forever. The truth, when known, and we believe it will be known, will have far-reaching international consequences. The very idea that someone could be convicted and could receive the death penalty when there remains even the slightest shadow of doubt or shred of uncertainty that they may not be guilty of that crime, and that Christian souls would tolerate that possibility, is anathema to all the teachings of Christ. If there were circumstances where a suspect or someone standing trial for murder did not have a clean opportunity to receive the very best and fairest legal representation to present their case and defense to the world, it would have been abhorrent to Charlie Kirk. It would go against every constitutional principle that he lived, fought, and died for. Erica is in mourning. May God bless her and her family. Please give her and her family time.
He supported Israel, right?
Any civilized culture, Christian or otherwise, allows a grieving widow.
He didn't just, he defended the genocide happening over there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And the only external, as far as the world getting to see real discussion about it, was about how much money. We're paying him too much money. God dang it, man. Listen, if he's your friend or your lover or whatever the fuck, I get it. I get why you care, like why you're going to say things about him a certain way. But don't lie about it. Speak about your friendship things. Not about what global sainthood he was projecting to the world. Like, no, he fucking wasn't. As I said, this guy probably has a hand, like a direct thing in regards to problems of people being killed en masse. Whether he's defending it or advocating for people that will do those things. And the only evidence I've seen of remorse from Candace, at least, is, damn, they're taking my money away. Maybe I turn on them. Maybe I turn on Israel. The fuck? It actually is the Dark fucking Night. Yes, I'm bringing that fucking movie up again. It actually is the Dark Knight. A truck full of soldiers get blown up. No one gives a shit. They don't care, apparently. One Charlie Kirk dies. Well, everyone loses their fucking minds. Huh? Why are we letting fiction outflank us? How are we doing that? It's embarrassing. And it's like, once again, I understand friends and family and all that shit saying these glowing things about Charlie, but keep it real, though, bro. Say glowing things that are like, oh, I love Charlie Kirk's smile. I love the gifts he got me on Christmas. I love having a beer with Charlie and watching the football game. Stay there. But when it comes to world events, guess what? Charlie wouldn't be covering a fraction of the problems that are happening around the fucking world. And yes, to me, that's anti-Christian. But that's just me, you know? That's my opinion on this. I've always called it pseudo-Christianity for a reason. Because you're using it to get policy done. Not to do the Christ-like thing. Which is like any harm anywhere is a fucking problem. It's expected, but it's a fucking problem. Whatever. Hear this glowing message. Here we go. Just weird. Just weird shit, bro. Once again, if these guys are best friends and family or whatever the fuck, I understand, but someone's got to tell him, like, no, dude, it's not this guy. Sorry. It's not his actions I've seen in the world. I'm sorry. Like, why not just be real about what's happening here? Like, here we go. It's like we're not just blowing up random boats in the middle of the ocean or something. It's like that's not happening.
Those people who truly love her would gladly grant her all the space she needs. We certainly do. But we are growing rather sick and ashamed of seeing people criticize Candace for doing her level best to get to the bottom of and to the truth of what happened to Charlie on that day. You don't have to agree with Candace on every subject that she addresses on her shows to acknowledge that much of what she is presenting on the subject of Charlie's death is extremely concerning to America and to the world, completely valid and very relevant to the investigation. She has an army of...
I want Candace to demonetize every video, every single one talking about her friend Charlie Kirk. Each one of them should never see an ad played. Should all be demonetized, period. Right? Just a gesture, if you will. I want to see that. But here we go.
Truth seekers worldwide who are helping her in her search and her research. This is a truly new and modern phenomenon that has never happened before. This is not 1963, and viewers need to get used to it. In our view, the official investigation should be immediately ordered by the appropriate legal authority to proactively share everything they know with Candace.
Just so people know I have ad blocker on, so that's why.
That is, if truth and real understanding of who decided to assassinate Charlie and why is the sincere objective. That would go some way towards restoring public trust in the system. It is our view that her actions are not just the actions that any real friend would take for their friend. They are the actions of the highest order of patriotism. Candace's actions are service to the whole country and to the world. Beyond that, they are truly providential, divinely inspired, and metaphysical. There is a relationship between truth and all living things. There is a relationship between truth and God. Right now, Turning Point USA is at a vital moment.
Do you want to actually approach that, Candace, or no?
And the suppression
Probably
of a young
not, right?
woman and a mother of 4 young children who is doing everything she can to help get to the truth about who decided that her friend and fellow freedom fighter Charlie had to die, they will lose the country and the world. And America will have lost one of its greatest living patriots only to see those factors against which he fought and died for win. Candace's extremely valid point that hers has so far been one of the only public voices from Charlie's closest friends questioning the absurdity of some of the communications regarding what happened and demanding clarity is well made. And frankly, that point alone is shocking to the world. We have been receiving calls from senior Republicans and from
She's the only one questioning
who agree with her
Yeah.
all last week, and they started up again this week. They agree with Candace, but seeing the
Close
attacks that
friends,
she is experiencing,
yes, I don't
they're
know.
terrified to voice their views publicly. Is that really where we are in 2025? Few people following the matter believe the official version, the version. A low minority people following the matter.
I think.
Is that really?
I noticed that in one of our episodes last week. That not suicide.
Where we are in 2025? Few people following the matter believe the official version, the version. A low minority believe that the current suspect is guilty. That statistic alone is an awful commentary on the state of the official investigation. The world wants truth. The world, Charlie, and those who truly loved him and knew his purposes certainly deserve justice. But justice needs not just to be done. It needs to be seen to be done justly. I want to read that sentence again because it's very powerful. Justice needs not just to be done. It needs to be seen to be done justly. It must be truthful, it must be fair, and it must be clean. If there are videos, show them. If there is evidence, show it. The world is not going to accept anything.
Trust me, bro. I've seen the evidence. I was there. You don't have to see it. Not going to cut it.
If there are videos,
Who the
show
fuck is
them.
this
If there
guy
is
again?
evidence, show it. The world is not
He's
going to
British.
accept anything less. This is
Donor.
not about who is right or wrong or whose theory is
I
correct.
assume he's a British donor.
Candace's investigation is about actually getting to the truth, whatever
Yeah.
that truth is. If the current theory for the shooter is truth, then okay. If that is a lie, then we need to know. Every episode of Candace's show since Charlie died, from her
Love how they're
heartfelt
called
emotional tribute
episodes
to her
because
exceptional journalism has been
it's
incredible.
like
And
a
anyone who cares
TV
for the truth and
show.
who wants to know who killed Charlie for real should watch every episode in its sequence. The fact is that we are being told as his friends, or simply as people who had never heard of Charlie Kirk before his assassination, simply does not make sense to the vast majority. It feels like gaslighting. It feels like we are being lied to. It is not hard to tell the truth to the public or to present the clear facts that illustrate the truth clearly. Many extremely ethical people helped to build Turning Point and all associated groups, Turning Point Action and Turning Point Faith. Many of these people are existing and potential future donors. We know many of them. Ethical people will not stand for lies or injustice, either privately or publicly. The existing and future donors who were friends of Charlie's and those he loved deserve no less. But please spare us the absurd and evil suppression of suggesting that Candace should not be doing exactly what she is doing. She's doing no more and no less than what her friend Charlie would have done for her. Her actions are far more reasonable and experienceable than an assassin's bullet to the throat. Consider for a moment the evil of possibly allowing the conviction of a potentially innocent party with the death penalty. We can only begin to imagine the wrath of God.
You're supposed to be
and
mad
how
about the
upset
death
Charlie would
penalty.
be if an innocent man were to be
know,
executed for his
general.
assassination, and what ill fortune would befall a Christian country and the individuals that would allow this.
By the way, I just want to point out that there was a relatively high-profile case involving the death penalty, where the evidence is shaky, possibly. I think Charlie would be defending the death penalty. I'm pretty sure about that. Right? I mean, there's a whole line of quote-unquote far leftists that always that protest these things like the death penalty. Charlie's probably in favor of it. This guy's probably in favor of it. Candace is probably in favor of it. You know, as Christians.
Or I heard
Embarrassing.
Charlie Kirk say that he's in favor of public executions, like
Oh
in
yeah.
front of people. So, yeah, he's good with it.
It's weird. These extremely Christian people love the idea, of like public castration or chemical castration of like, you know, people that have abused kids or some shit like that, right? These staunch Christians love that shit apparently. Like, hey guys, isn't that weird? What would Christ do? Exactly. But let's keep it moving. Pussies.
In this sense, Christianity and a leading Christian democracy are now on trial.
God says the right thing.
There's a special place in eternity reserved for those who would allow such an injustice. If Turning Point and Charlie left in charge,
Meaning how?
if Turning Point and those who Charlie left in charge failed to stay true to the principles and purposes on which Charlie founded it, and with which he and Candace originally breathed life into it during its formative years, then Turning Point will end up like MySpace. It will become just one more ineffective and rather dull has-been activity. I believe that God has other plans for Charlie and for his legacy. A cover-up of the truth is not, in my view, part of God's plans. I believe that people of goodwill from all over
God's
the world
plan?
will ensure that. Keep going, Candace. Charlie is walking with you every step of the way. He loves you deeply, and you are right about your friendship with him. Never at any time, through all the challenges that the political arena and life brought, did he ever withdraw his friendship from you, Candace. You are an eternal cornerstone in his life and his legacy. What a great friend you are being to him. We are all witness to that. All of our love, John and Arena. Oh, it's going to make me cry again. It's just like, I really needed it. I don't know. I just really needed it. Like, it's just, I feel like I kind of went through a process where I was going.
Feel the
like,
emotion
in those
here.
2 weeks following. Was any of it real? You know, like when I expressed to you that I felt that Charlie's life was like the Truman Show. And then I know that's how you guys felt, because we were just expecting a fight. We were just expecting a fight. And instead it seems like the very things that Charlie was fighting, lies, no matter what they were, somehow were being platformed and allowed. So thank you, John. Thank you, Arena. I cried last night reading that. I almost cried on air there reading it again. I needed it. So anyways, you guys, I'm going to read a couple of more sponsors, and then I want to get to all of your comments.
Okay. Anyways, time to get paid. I think, Candace, you can ask your sponsors to like, listen, guys, on these videos, I'm not doing a sponsorship here, because I think they would understand. They'd be like, no, you better play it. You better fucking do an ad. I think they'd get looked at as weirdos, and you could expose them as you expose apparently everyone else on planet Earth. All right, I'll leave it there. There's your video. So just let that whole thing play out there, but it's kind of a, you know, once again, I guess another Dark Knight thing. Die and be a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. But I think Charlie actually lived long enough for plenty of people to view him as a villain, in regards to his political takes, and I mean the hard work he did on behalf of corrupt people. But you know what? Now he's a hero again, I guess. I don't know what that does for him, but all right. But anyways, there's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think in the comment section. There was a lot here. Actually, I still don't know if I'm releasing this fucking video. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. You'll hear it, I guess, if it's actually out there. You can tell me your opinions in the comment section. Do not forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. All of it is very much appreciated. It is charity. Also, the Discord. If you want to join that, please go ahead. I am in that very Discord right now. Sure, we're going to play some horror movie at some point, and Dubster's going to bitch out and run for his life. But don't worry.
I was already going to do that.
You don't have to be a bitch. You can stick around and watch the horror movie. Unlike Dubster, who is a bitch.
Good. I don't want to watch no hella movies.
He's a pussy ass bitch, and he's gonna run from, you know, rubber masks and fucking fake chainsaws and shit. He's gonna run for his life.
You don't need negative reinforcement in life. Get plenty of that in real life.
That's a major pause. Either way, Join a Discord if you want to. Also, the sourcing for all this we saw in the video, I will link that in the description box. Check it out. And with all that said, please give this video a thumbs down.